It's a big fucking moment for gaming. Let's see if they can actually deliver. I feel like Nintendo's output this last year or two has been not great. And I really hope that's because they've been building up to this. And they've been working on it a lot in the background. And with a full fucking hour to present it, they fucking better have a lot to show us. Also, I'm just going to tell you in advance that for things I don't care about, I'm just going to set the playback speed to ×2. Because that's the better way to watch a Nintendo Direct. And I don't know why more people don't do it. Still feels weird. Assume Mario Kart? Yeah. So, is it just Mario Kart 9? I would assume, but I don't know, maybe we'll give it some subtitle again for some reason. Looks like Mario Kart. This is a series I enjoy, especially with very casual video game players, but like, it's Mario Kart. There's not a whole lot you can do with it. Pauline's new, right? Game looks really good, but so does Mario Kart 8. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. For some reason, I forgot that they would add new power-ups. You can get power-ups that change your costume? I would think you would just be able to change that in the character select menu. Oh. Why'd they go back to fucking subtitles?
Hello everyone, I'm Koichi Kawamoto. Welcome to this vast world. Kart races are held throughout various
Why do we
regions
need open world in Mario Kart?
Depending on the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change.
That feels so unnecessary.
In this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world. In the classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for first place.
How does that work?
You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up.
Huh.
Introducing Knockout Tour. Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another.
Okay,
There are multiple checkpoints along the way.
that's weird.
Placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be
But it's
eliminated.
interesting.
By going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So drive wherever your heart takes you.
They made a fucking open world Mario
Also go for
Kart.
scenic drives with friends, and even take photos together at different locations.
Huh. That might actually, like, be a decent single-player experience.
A
Which
brand new race
Mario
across the entire
Kart
world
is,
starts
you know,
here.
not known
Mario
for.
Kart World. The game launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. More details about this title will be shared in an upcoming.
I was freaking out because I thought the date there was the release date. Okay, that's the Mario Kart Direct, which we totally need. Mario Kart on launch. That's pretty big.
Let's take a look at some new
Okay.
experiences it offers.
The C button is a real thing. Communicate? So, they added a Discord overlay to Switch.
While playing a game. Your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system.
Oh, okay. But you're still behind me, right? All right, let's keep going. Okay.
It can pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a distance. When it's noisy around you, your voice will still come through clearly, letting you chat with ease.
How did you get hit by a bow?
Okay, I'm gonna need to see how well that works.
And you can use this feature in handheld mode too, letting you easily chat with
'Cause
friends and family.
that shit is just the we speak. And if Scott the Woz is anything to judge that by, they did not do that well. Also, as a single-player person with 0 friends, this is kinda boring to me.
You can chat to your heart's content, even while playing different games.
Yeah, I know that
That's
one.
nice.
It's hard, right? It's tough.
Oh, wow. I'm like in the sky right here. I'm like, I fell. I'm falling. Okay, we got it. We're safe.
Kirby.
I feel like these actors suck.
So cute.
Or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that wall that's to your left. You're almost there. It's just like the wall. Like if she gets past the wall.
Playing at a much lower frame rate, but that makes sense.
Smile.
They could totally do asymmetrical multiplayer with this. Right? Like, there could be games that connect to this function and they can each show a different screen to everyone. I think that seems like the most interesting use of this, because, I mean, this is literally just no different than Discord, really.
I'll be right back, yeah? Okay.
Here, you can quickly and easily mute yourself and more.
Who
And there's
plays
this.
the...
By connecting.
Is there anyone in the world who actually plays the Switch by setting it up on the stand and then sitting back with the controllers? Does anyone actually do that? I feel like I've never seen a single person ever even attempt that.
This camera to the system.
Just hold it in your hands.
Hey, what's up?
Oh.
Yo, sick.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Good?
You can appear on screen and
Okay.
video chat while playing a game.
I'm a little concerned that they're adding a bunch of shit that does not matter. Because this is neat, but how many of you are going to use it? And how often?
No, wait. Go left.
I mean, this is impressive. Yeah, I mean, editing the
Set your own rules for a
camera
competition.
in
Or
such a
hold
way
small competition
and
with
automatically
your families.
keying people out
All together,
of a
anytime,
background that's
anywhere.
not a
Game
green
chat.
screen. I mean, that's technically impressive. It's just kind of unnecessary.
Our goal was for you to enjoy playing online with others more closely, including family and friends.
And
All
yeah,
the
as
systems
someone
are all
who
playing together in the same place.
doesn't do much multiplayer,
The camera you saw in the trailer is
doesn't
the Nintendo
really
Switch 2
appeal to
camera,
me.
which will be available on the same day as Switch 2.
I would imagine.
But on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play together locally on multiple systems using just one game, with Game Share. As shown here,
I
even
like
games
that.
where multiple screens can be played if one person owns a compatible game. With Game Share, you can temporarily
Oh.
share compatible games with others who also have Nintendo Switch 2 or a Nintendo Switch system. You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. Game Share can only be used with compatible games. This feature is planned for several titles, starting with a free update for Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics on Nintendo Switch. Game Share support is
Only
also
the
planned for select
essentials.
games exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. So
We'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 system itself.
I mean, you're showing it.
Here's how that compares to Nintendo Switch. The system's thickness remains the same.
How does it compare to the OLED model?
Approximately double the pixels compared to Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen. The Switch
Oh!
supports up to 120 frames per second, allowing for smoother gameplay in supported titles.
Whoa!
The LCD screen
Does PlayStation 5 even do that? Huh. I imagine it could probably also go up to 4K then, but not at the same time as 120 FPS. But wow, that, huh? I feel like I haven't seen that in consoles before. Granted, PlayStation 5 games are a bit more graphically demanding, but still, huh? Considering the Switch 1 could barely run Breath of the Wild at a steady 30 FPS, that's an increase.
is more vivid and supports HDR, providing more contrast
Oh,
between
nice.
light and dark areas of the images. Detach your controller easily by pressing the release button on the back.
Okay. How does that work with magnets?
The SL
How do you
and
disable
SR
a
buttons are
magnet?
bigger for greater comfort and control when playing with the Joy-Con 2 held horizontally.
Does anyone do that?
The left and right sticks are now larger.
Do they drift?
Each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse
Okay.
to play with compatible games. Both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support mouse controls.
They're gonna have to really justify
Adjusting the
that
audio
shit.
balance between the ranges. It has a built-in microphone, so your
Yeah,
voice
you
just
already
plays
addressed
all the
that.
time via game chat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly.
Yeah, I'm curious how well it's gonna work.
Even
That's
if you
nice.
don't have a surround sound system, you can move it freely, like this.
Does anyone use that?
In
It's
addition to
cool,
the
but
USB-C
does
port
anyone
found
use
on the
it?
bottom of the system, there's one on top as well.
So you can charge it
It's handy
and
for
just
connecting a USB-C
have it on your
camera
chest as well.
or charging in tabletop mode.
That's a really nice change. They learned from the Steam Deck
Nintendo
on that
Switch 2
one.
comes with 256
That's
gigabytes of
incredibly
internal
useful.
storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch. For
Yeah,
storing
that's a
your
lot
game
better.
downloads, save data, and more. Reading and writing data is also faster.
I mean, one would assume. Yeah,
Use
okay.
the Nintendo Switch 2 dock
4K
to
support.
connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games. HDR is also supported in TV mode.
For compatible games. That okay.
The Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your system cool.
Oh.
This helps keep performance stable.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
On Nintendo Switch 2, you can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
I'm curious if they're going to release a list of games that aren't supported from the Switch 1. Because I would think it's stuff like the Labo and whatnot, but
As you just saw,
They-
Nintendo Switch 2
they have made very clear that it is not just 100% compatible. And in some ways that makes me a little bit concerned, but I feel like at the same time it's going to be games that no one would mind and don't make sense on a Switch 2.
2 isn't simply an improved Nintendo Switch.
I mean, it is.
We redesigned the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay features.
That's what
And
improving
to
a
help players
Switch
better understand the
means.
Switch 2 hardware,
This is Nintendo
Oh.
Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
They're making an
Exclusive to
Astrobot.
Nintendo Switch 2.
Honestly, I'm okay with that.
I'm standing over here. Let's examine them.
This better be free.
The Joy-Con 2 controllers attached to the system.
This is an actual game. Okay, I'm sorry, but after PlayStation 5 comes with Astro's Playroom built in, if you're gonna have a game like this, holy shit, you better make that shit good. Astro's Playroom is literally one of the best platformers I've ever played. And it was a free bundle with the console just made to show off the fucking controller. Wow, this is underwhelming after that shit.
The SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2 are made of metal. So that's how they attach to the system. A magnetic circuit is formed between them, so they won't
Curious
easily
how
detach.
those buttons feel then.
You can discover all sorts of secrets about Nintendo Switch 2. Another
Like
example,
the
Joy-Con
fact that
2
it
controllers
still
have mouse
fucking
controls,
drifts.
And when combined with the gyroscopes, by combining the mouse controls and gyroscopes, things like this are possible.
I feel like
There
you
are
could do
secrets
that
to
with just a
discover even as you're
gyroscope.
playing mini-games and tech demos. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour will launch as a paid digital game on the same day as Nintendo Switch
What?
2.
Why is this paid? Who would buy this? 1-2 Switch made more sense than this. Who would buy this? You gave no reason to believe that there would be substantial gameplay content here. It's just... You're making us buy an interactive Wikipedia article.
So please check it out if you're interested.
Now, I'd like to share some more information regarding Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay.
This is the game card for Nintendo Switch 2 titles.
It's just red.
It's
Okay.
the same shape as Nintendo Switch game cards, but it's now red and it has much faster data reading speeds.
That's nice.
Next up,
I never felt like that.
they're a different type of
That's
SD
something I
card and
noticed.
will make high-speed data transfers possible. SD cards used for Nintendo Switch will not be compatible.
What?
Additionally, to transfer data from Switch to Switch 2, you can log into your
Okay.
Nintendo account to use the system transfer feature. With this feature, you
Okay.
can transfer save data, digital games,
Okay, so save data can be transferred. Okay, that's huge for me. For the 0 people who have followed this channel for a while, I spent 1,500 hours doing every single goddamn thing in Fire Emblem 3 Houses. So being able to transfer that save data to a system that is not beaten the hell up at this point is really, really good. Because I feel like my Switch is kind of dying. I've had it nearly since launch, and I've spent like 5,000 hours playing it. I feel like it's pretty beaten up at this point. So being able to transfer that save data, I am really grateful for that.
a new Pro controller.
Looks the
It has
exact
a seat,
same.
which launches Game Chat,
Oh,
and on
yeah.
the back there are new GL and GR buttons,
Ooh,
which you
that's
can use to assign existing button
Good.
controls.
That's good.
In addition, an audio jack has been added. We've introduced
Thank
a few
you.
new features. After today's presentation, the official Nintendo Switch 2 website
That-
will go live. There will also be an Ask the Developer.
Adding a audio jack to the controller makes way more fucking sense than it only being on the fucking console.
And now, the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date.
Oh, okay.
Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th.
Oh
Very much
shit!
looking forward to the day when you all...
That is way sooner than I thought. I thought like maybe August at the earliest. Okay. Wow. What's the price? I imagine I'd guess at least $400.
Now,
That is so much sooner than I expected.
on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play 3 types of games. The first type is Nintendo Switch 2 games.
What?
These games take advantage of the performance and features of Switch 2. The second type is compatible games that were released on Nintendo Switch.
What the fuck is the third type?
Nintendo Switch 2 edition games are the third type.
Ah.
Some games that were released on Switch
Remasters.
will receive upgraded versions that offer things like improved visuals, unique ways to play on Switch 2, and more.
Yeah, so Tears of the
Now, I'd
Kingdom,
like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree.
probably Metroid
Please
Prime
take a
4. Those are almost definitely gonna
Mario
get
Party Jamboree is
upgrades.
getting an upgrade. Guide an RC car
Huh.
with your voice. Go. And compete in other minigames using full body movement.
I
and
see
sound.
they watch Doug.
Finally, use mouse controls to shoot down enemies while you feel the bumps and rumbles of the coaster. When you enter a pipe,
You
a
can do that
minigame
with
will
the
begin.
gyroscope
There's
though
a
and a
bouldering game
pointer.
where 2 players each control an arm, and one where you
They
shake
took
a
that
canvas
from
briefly and
Astro.
quickly tag objects. launches on
I'm really struggling to see the worth in the mouse. I really struggle to understand what you can do with that you can't do with a gyro and a pointer. I think especially the problem with the mouse feature is that needs to be in a specific environment. Like, you need to have something to move it around on.
Let's continue presenting some more Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games.
Yeah, not surprising at all.
Nintendo Switch 2 Edition
Very not
The Legend of
surprising.
Zelda Breath of the Wild and
I mean-
The Legend of Zelda Tears.
Breath of the Wild is a little surprising. I mean, that's an 8-year-old game. Which is wild, right? Like, that doesn't feel that old, does it? Holy shit, Tears of the Kingdom is 2 years old. Why is that weirder? I still haven't even finished Tears of the Kingdom. I did not find that interesting. It really did just feel like a DLC of Breath of the Wild. And going into the game, I felt like people who said that were fucking idiots. But it just didn't feel like it expanded on anything, really. It just was a different version of it.
Feature enhanced resolution and frame rates,
I would hope.
and also support HDR.
They knew
which
to
makes
show
the
that
image more
area.
vibrant. For example, it can help guide you to various locations, like shrines and Koroks you haven't found yet.
Guidance activating. Proceed north.
Wait, like... It'll just show hidden Koroks?
You can share your creations using QR codes and
That's-
send them to another player to create
Oh,
in their game.
huh.
Exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, along with improved graphics and frame rates.
I'm surprised they're doing the like expansions with this. I figured they'd be updating frame rates and stuff, but it seems interesting that a lot of them are also getting updated features, and if not full-on expansions to it.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond
Yeah.
will have both a Nintendo
Obviously.
Switch and a Nintendo Switch 2 Edition.
And how many people are going to buy the Switch 1 edition?
In addition to standard controls,
I really need to
mouse
play the
controls
Metroid
for
series at some
intuitive
point.
gameplay on
I kind of
Switch
want to
2.
do that for a YouTube video.
Plus, you can explore the immersive world in 4K at 60 frames per second, or enjoy smoother action in full HD at 120 frames per second. Choose from these two modes, both of which support
How quickly does that drain the battery? Switch on launch did not have a great battery life, and this is really, really fucking demanding. 4K and 4K is docked, but 120 FPS is. I feel like that'd be pretty demanding on this system. So how long can it go for?
Plus,
Oh,
Pokemon Legends ZA, which is scheduled to launch later this year, will not only receive a Nintendo Switch version, but a Nintendo Switch 2 edition as well. By
the
taking
more I
advantage
see
of
this
the
game,
power
the
of
more
Switch 2,
disappointed I feel.
you can enjoy your adventure in Lumio City with enhanced resolution and frame rates.
I loved Legends Arceus, and this just... That game
The
just
Nintendo
does not
Switch 2 edition games you
seem...
just saw will be available as both physical and digital versions.
I think a large part of why I liked Legends Arceus was how different it felt without changing too much of the gameplay. In ZA, it looks very similar. Like, Legends Arceus has a very distinct art style. Whether or not you like it is a different matter, but it's the most visually distinct Pokemon game I think they've ever made. And its gameplay is different enough to be fresh and engaging, but still standard enough to be really enjoyable. And there's a lot of areas in the game to explore. ZA takes place entirely in a single fucking city, which I find really concerning, because that massively limits exploration, which I think is the best part of a Pokemon game. On top of that, the art style is really bland. It's just Scarlet and Violet again. And I think the gameplay deviates too much for me. I'm not sure how I feel about the real-time combat. I feel like it'd be very easy to just run around and make your Pokemon never get hit by any attack. But I don't know. Maybe when I play it, it'll be different. But That first trailer for that game got me so concerned.
If you already own the Nintendo Switch version of a game, you can play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing
I would
an
hope
upgrade
so.
pack.
Next, I'd like to introduce a brand new game featuring mouse controls with the Joy-Con 2 controllers.
Is a new 3D Mario?
Please take a look.
I would imagine if any game would utilize that, it would be a 3D Mario. Those generally showcase the new controller pretty well. Is it a rhythm game? What? That just seems clunky. They're really failing to prove the worth of the mouse. Like, it seems like they're just making a problem by making it controlled weirdly. I have a hard time believing this would be less fun if you just controlled it with a joystick. Also, visually, that is not very interesting. It just kind of looks like bad Rocket League,
matches using dual mouse controls.
but with basketball.
Next, here are some games from our publishing and development partners coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem! Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that was obvious. Tarnished Edition, huh. I would assume that's an enhanced edition with Night Rain included, but they didn't show anything from Night Rain, I don't think.
Here to say that Hades 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh wow, they're just flying through
First ever
these.
sequel
Okay.
introduces the Princess of the Dead, an immortal witch out to vanquish the
I
sinister Titan.
don't care about these games at all, but that's cool.
Battle beyond the underworld to the
And
ends of the earth.
entirely
Getting to
expected.
know dust
I feel like I'm coming across as someone who doesn't care about any games. But it's just because they're showing all the games that I don't care about. What is this?
After 2 long wars, when you're buying.
Huh. Is this a new game?
This planet will be ours.
I'll tear you apart!
All children
Oh.
to our lives. Don't
Hmm.
they?
I thought it looked like that, but I felt like that would be a really strange thing to bring back. I feel like people did not like that first one.
And it's up to you and a friend to help them break free.
I've heard about this game, I don't know much about
If
it.
you like It Takes Two, you're gonna love this one, trust
Looks
me.
pretty cool.
And of course,
But I don't
you'll
have
be
any
able to
friends,
play Split Fiction
so.
on the day Switch 2 launches.
It seems like they're gonna have a pretty solid launch lineup so far. I mean, a Mario Kart on launch alone would be pretty big, and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom having expansions
EA Sports.
in
It's in the game.
the same day that it launches is, again, pretty fucking big. I'm not gonna comment on this. Again, games I don't really care about. I'm realizing by watching this how few games I actually seem to care about. Wait, what? Huh. When was the last James Bond game?
The world's favorite spy is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, so stay tuned.
Huh. Okay.
Bravely Default returns.
Oh,
Mastered
cool.
in high definition. Change and customize jobs to
Never
build
played
out
this
your
game.
very own party.
Had wanted to.
As a warrior of light, once more.
There is a lot available on launch day. I am noticing a lot of, like, expanded versions of old games, but, I mean, those are still probably going to be good games.
We'll have more games to show from our publishing and development partners, but for now, we'd like to show a game being
Like-
developed in collaboration with.
Like, you'll have more to show later in this presentation, or you'll just have more to show later? Give me another fucking Fire Emblem, you bastards. Another Warriors spin-off? Yeah, this would be another
When the
Zelda
Shogun
Warriors, right?
descended from the heavens, a terrible evil arose.
How does this fit into the timeline?
A war was fought to vanquish this evil.
Am I gonna
one
get
which
spoiled?
future generations would call the imprisoning war.
Oh!
Perhaps You truly have traveled back in time.
I know the game is like 2 years old, but
So that's Hyrule Castle.
and
Then
and I kind of knew that that's what they were setting up for, but I still didn't know that's what happened. That I hadn't gotten to that part of the story. Okay, I do feel like I figured that out though. Granted, the writing of that game isn't good to begin with, so like whatever. But I'm hoping this is the actual thing they're advertising it as, and it's not going to be another situation like the last one where they advertise it as the war that leads into the Breath of the Wild, but then it's a different story entirely.
this really is the past.
Her voice actor is so bad. So, you're going to have a Warriors Zelda game without Link. That's certainly a choice. Like a bunch of nobody characters that we have almost zero attachment to. I never thought Link was that important, but apparently I'm realizing he very much is. Because that just seems like a really strange choice.
You can continue to enjoy Nintendo Switch Online on Switch 2.
That's actually really nice.
And with
Okay.
Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack,
We getting more?
you can enjoy a new membership benefit exclusively on Switch 2.
GameCube?
Please take a look at this.
That'd be pretty huge. Let's go!
Nintendo Switch
Okay.
Online Plus expansion pack.
What are they offering on it? Part of me will be really mad if they offer Path of Radiance. The other part of me will be, like, kind of really excited about that. Because that's a really huge game to offer. But at the same time, I've already spent $300 on it.
Nintendo GameCube.
And how many games are going to be
2001. Here
coming
are
out
the
on
titles
it?
that will be available at launch. A
As-
Legend of Zelda game that looks
Yeah.
like a cartoon come to life through cell shading.
Yeah, that one's
Controlling the wind
mandatory
using
pretty
a
much.
mysterious baton, Link sets sail on an adventure across the Great Sea. The Legend of Zelda.
I might need to get
Wind
the
Waker.
expansion pack just to play that.
Transcending history and white knuckle
They're acknowledging it?
over 2,000 kilometers
Oh
per
shit.
hour. 30 machines will put it all on the line in death-defying races.
They're still not making a new one, but they're acknowledging it.
Machine Custom F-Zero GX.
Why does this narrator sound so awful?
Games that support multiplayer. Enjoy these classic games with clearer image quality and higher resolution.
It's
than the
releasing
original
with 3 games.
You can also check the controls for each title and customize them to your liking.
Nintendo, come on!
More titles will be added in the future.
Holy shit, they actually are doing Path of Radiance. For those who don't know why that's big, that was a niche series on a niche console. Guess how well it did. And it's often considered the best entry in the franchise. It literally goes for $250 on the cheap side. But Gale of Darkness and Chibi Robo as well, like, I kind of wish these were all playable at launch, because, I mean, Sunshine in particular, like, really, you're not going to have that at launch for this? But, they know what games people want for this, I'll give them that.
A dedicated controller designed after the original GameCube controller will also be
Can we stop with this? You guys have done this 8 times. It's such a clunky controller. I don't understand how people like that thing. Give me a fucking release window, Toby! I might literally buy this on Switch and PC. I fucking love this game. After 2 of the, like, 7 chapters. Give me a release window. Launch day!
Hi, I'm Randy from Gearbox.
You can't just move on from that. I don't fucking care, man. Borderlands, I do not care about. So chapters 3 and 4 are launching on June 5th. Like, it's coming with those. It's not just the first 2 chapters. It's 3 and 4 as well. And they're launching on June 5th. Deltarune Chapter 2 was one of my favorite gaming experiences in a long time, and has remained that way since. So I've been so looking forward to more from that game for so long now. Oh, I'm so interested in how he keeps going with that. Yeah, who gives a shit? It's Borderlands. Yeah, after the movie? Are you really expecting people to give a shit?
You can experience mouse controls on Switch 2 by purchasing the upgrade. We have even more news from 2K.
You need to buy an upgrade to use a mouse. Are you fucking kidding me?
Plus NBA 2K as well.
Did we really need people talking about this game?
On the court.
You don't even have a trailer ready for it?
Here's the first look at Enter the Gungeon 2.
Oh.
Dodge countless bullets and aim
Again,
for the
I'm
Gungeon
not-
steps in our roguelike shooter sequel.
This isn't
Now
really my
reloaded in a new 3D art style.
type of game, but
You can expect
cool.
some fan favorite elements.
Oh, Astroneer? No, what is this? Oh, it is Astroneer. It's a new game. Yeah, I thought it looked like that.
My name is Adam Badowski from CD Projekt Red. We are delighted to bring the immersive world of the dark future to Nintendo players for the first time. Cyberpunk 2077
How well is this gonna run?
is an open-world action-adventure RPG. Thanks to Nintendo Switch 2, you can transport yourself to the city of dreams at home or on the go. Get ready
You
to
can
meet
already play it on
unforgettable
Steam Deck.
characters and discover Ultimate Edition comes to Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's Ultimate Edition, so it'll have entirely new glitches on launch. No way! No way!
リメイクインターグレードを発売いたします。本作はミッドガル脱出までを描いた3部作シリーズの1作目となり、20年以上の時を
It's on a fucking Nintendo console!
新しい FF7 を体験いただきます。スイッチ2で
Holy shit!
FF7 リメイクシリーズに
When is Rebirth gonna come over to it then? You can't just do that! What?! I don't even play Hollow Knight, and I know you can't just do that. I can't believe we actually got Silksong news. Deltarune and Silksong news in the same day. 2S? Huh. Oh, it's Edgy Pac-Man. All the games they just announced in that one useless direct the other day are also on Switch. I'm so glad we spent time having a direct the other day. It was so necessary. Whoa, Fortnite's coming to it? I never would have guessed. No Fire Emblem, huh? God damn it. I don't think they'd save Fire Emblem for last. Okay. Resident Evil?
My life.
Castlevania? Oh! That was fast! Night Rain just released, didn't it? Oh, this is a really different vibe for them. Wait, they're doing a vampire game? Huh. Because I needed more FromSoft games to do Let's Plays of, I guess. Steampunk vampires? Of all the games to not show gameplay for. Okay. Okay, there we go. Ew.
Contemplate now the moon.
Is there a multiplayer element?
The soon to depart.
I pray that you are able.
Bring back guns.
Carrier of blood.
This is almost like a spiritual successor to Bloodborne, I feel, but not quite. Are these all playable characters?
The moon tears will flow for one.
Or are those bosses or
One
enemies?
alone.
Huh. Interesting. That, for some reason, it doesn't really feel like a FromSoft game to me. What a terrible stinger for that trailer.
What you just saw was a brand new game by FromSoft.
Yes, we are aware.
Our partners are working on many games coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
I would imagine.
We'll showcase more games in the future, so we hope you're looking forward to it.
I would imagine.
Next, please take a look at this.
Okay, we still got more games from them. Okay. Kirby? Okay. New. Are they doing the racing game? They're doing the racing game. I don't remember what it's called, but on the GameCube there was a Kirby racing game. They're totally doing that, aren't they? Little weird to announce that in the same one as you announced the new Mario Kart, but people have very much been asking for this, so. Air ride, yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Kirby Air Ride. Next is our last trailer for today. Please take a look.
Okay. What is this? My immediate guess is Pikmin. But I'm not really familiar with the game, so I don't know. Huh. A Donkey Kong 3D platformer? Huh. Not what I was ever expecting. But, okay. How much of the environment can you destroy? I refuse to believe it's just all of it. But that's how they're kind of showing it. His new design is kind of weird. Am I the only one who thinks that? Is that launch day, or? Pretty close, but yeah, that'd be good to have close to launch.
That was a brand new 3D platforming action game starring Donkey Kong, called Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yep, we saw.
To recap, Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th. Finally, here are the hardware options that will be available at launch.
Yep,
we'll release
that.
Nintendo Switch 2, as well as a bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World. For more
Here's a recap. It came out on June 5th. Recap's done.
details, please check the official Nintendo Switch 2 website, which goes live later today.
Full game download. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna buy
But that's all we have to share.
the base edition.
You'll have to wait just a bit longer for launch.
I'm curious if they're gonna have
Thank you very much.
another presentation near launch. Because I find it really fucking hard to believe a Fire Emblem is not pretty close to being made. Because Engage was supposed to be done for like a year prior to its launch. And that's like, what? 2 years old already? How the fuck is there no new Fire Emblem yet? Yeah, for me personally, this wasn't a very strong direct because a lot of the games that they showed were not ones that are really my taste. It seemed like they had a lot of things that were what people wanted, so that's nice, but for me personally, a lot of the games I feel I play were not there. Granted, I feel like that's partly because the amount of games I play is diminished by about a factor of 75 million in the past 2 years, but I was really fucking hoping for a new Fire Emblem. It's taking a weird amount of time to get a new one, because, yeah, Three Houses and Engage were 4 years apart, but there was also the Three Houses spin-off and the Three Houses DLC, and Engage was supposed to be done in like a year prior, but was just not released for some reason. On top of that, the leak that included Engage also had Genealogy, I'm pretty sure. Like a remake of it. And for some reason, that hasn't happened yet, because there is no possible way to fake a leak of Engage. No one wanted that. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling what I felt I would. I mean, it's the Switch 2. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see what comes out on it. Switch had a very long lifetime and had a lot of incredible games. And frankly, redefined the way we saw gaming. Because when it launched, the idea of taking those games anywhere I wanted was insane. Now it's so normal that I barely even care. That says a lot about the impact the Switch has had. I like the upgrades to the old games. That's a really cool thing. I mean, obviously they were going to visually upgrade some of their most popular games. I feel like they'd be stupid not to. But the expansions for them, I think, are really cool. That was not something I would have expected. Even if it is paid, and I have to wonder how much it's paid. If it's like $10, then like sure, that's awesome. But if it's 20 or more, if it's 20, like sure, okay. But if it's more than that, like goddamn, fuck off. It did seem like there were a lot of like ports, definitive editions, remasters, that kind of thing, which is a little concerning. But at the same time, with how popular this console is, it's kind of nice to get basically everything on it. The only problem comes from the prices of some of those games. I don't know, I feel like in terms of like, not so much bigger titles, because Mario Kart is a big title, but in terms of like beefier games, I feel like I didn't see much really. Which I think that's why they saved Donkey Kong for the end, because I feel like that's a pretty beefy game. There's a lot of content to that, I would imagine. And I mean, the Kirby game, like, that's really cool, but at the same time, you have a Mario Kart at launch. I don't know how many people are going to get a Kirby racing game on top of that. But yeah, I guess we'll see going forward what else they have planned. I'm curious if they're going to have another direct... Oh yeah, it's First Wednesday. Ignore the siren, which I'm having trouble doing. I feel like they're probably going to have another direct close to, at, or a bit after the launch, because I feel like they probably have more games that they just aren't ready to share yet, and they just kind of are trying to focus on the immediate launch lineup. But once it's released, they can start showing us the first year of it, which hopefully they have a lot more planned for that, because Nintendo's output lately has not been great, so I feel like they've had to have been working on this. And if they're not, what the fuck have they been doing?